Another exciting episode of Speculative Tolkienism.
So in Peter Jackson, he grabs the Witch King grabs Eowyn and says,
"Fool! No man can kill me."
and she simply whips off her helmet and says, "I am no man."
Yeah.
But
I
in
am
the
no man.
original book, Eowyn says, "Do what you will, but I will hinder it if I may." And he says, "Hinder me, thou fool! No living man may hinder me."
Yeah.
So, I could tell why Peter Jackson thought hinder was not like as strong a word as kill. Because hinder is a little bit. It's a little bit
Yeah.
almost a milk
I'm going to
toast.
stop. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to stop you. I will hinder you. I will impede your forward
Impede your progress.
progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but this scene kind of made me think, like, okay, this is interesting. Where do you think? Let's speculate. Where do you think the this line that the Lord of the Nazgul says, "No living man may hinder me"? It makes me wonder, like, does he know that, like, Glorfindel made this claim that no living man may kill the Nazgul or the Witch King, or is
Yeah.
this a
I'm sure he's.
commonly known thing?
Yeah.
But he's not saying no living man may kill me. He's saying no living man may hinder me, which I'm sure there's been living men like Aragorn who have hindered him, inconvenienced him at
Yeah.
least
Yeah. Yeah.
at some point, like on Weathertop or whatever. Like hinder is again like kind of an odd word to use, but if the
Right. Right. But he's responding to her.
right,
You know, almost like in a mock. Like to me, it's always felt mocking. You know.
yes, yeah, but I mean, if the truth of this prophecy is that no living man may kill him, because doesn't Glorfindel come right out and say no living man may
Yeah.
kill
Yeah.
him?
Yeah.
What's is it a prophecy that Glorfindel initiates, or is like an original prediction from Glorfindel, or is it actually a well-known prophecy of old or something?
Hold on.
Because that
Hold on. Almost there.
because if it's just something Glorfindel kind of pulled out of thin air, then I'm wondering, like, did he call the Witch King and tell him, like, hey, by the way, I made a prophecy about you?
Following the Battle of Fornos, the Elf Lord Glorfindel prophesies that the Witch King of Angmar's doom is far off, and not by the hand of man will he fall. This meant he would not be killed by a male human, a fate fulfilled when Eowyn and Mary slew him. The context: after the Witch King was defeated and fled, King Eomer of Gondor wanted to pursue him. Glorfindel stopped him, stating, "Do not pursue him. He will not return to this land, for far off yet is his doom, and not by the hand of man will he fall." Okay, Glorfindel's prophecy that the Witch King of Angmar would not fall by the hand of man is found in the Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, Appendix A.
Yeah. But I mean, you'd think that Tolkien would have alluded to this prophecy earlier in Lord of the Rings, so that this can be like some kind of fulfillment of it. So only the diehard Tolkien nerd aficionado would having read the appendix, would know that this is some kind of fulfillment of a prophecy. But
When
I'm
did the
wondering if this is
prophecy?
just
When was this mentioned? I can't remember when it was mentioned because like I've always be like again I can't remember like I've always known this. You know, like
yeah,
it seems
that's
to me
what I
like this is
mean.
like
Like I've always known it too. I mean, is it mentioned anywhere else other than the appendix?
yeah I'm having a tough time finding like when it was mentioned in the
Yeah, I'm not finding any other reference to it other than from the appendix, and so I'm like, gosh, this seems either I had just poured through the appendix as a child, or maybe all of my knowledge that no living man may hinder me comes from this line. Like,
yeah. Here's the thing though, if you don't have any context right of
mm,
the prophecy, um, knowing that the Witch King is a ring wraith and and supernatural and all that stuff, um, this still works. You know what I'm saying? When he
Right,
says, "No living man may hinder me," and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do. I'm a woman."
right, right.
Um, so it still works. You
No, it
know?
does, and in fact, it's almost cooler because those who know, people who know the deep lore and who have read the appendix. I mean, basically, this prophecy or prediction. I don't know if you want to call it a prophecy or a prediction, or it's like Glorfindel said it. I mean, does it have the weight of of prophecy, or is it just something? Or he says it
Yeah,
like as if it's common knowledge, like, oh, don't bother, pursuing him. No living man may kill him. Um, but is it something he's heard through the grapevine, or where does he come
yeah,
up with that? It's just weird. But my point is that the fact that this is a 1,000-year-old prediction by this point, because Glorfindel originally came up with this like many, many years ago,
right.
um, but in the context of only those who read Lord of the Rings itself and not the appendix aren't aware of that prophecy. It's just in the deep background
Yeah,
lore, um, until you get to this point where the Nazgul or the Witch King makes reference to it. But what I'm wondering is like, how does he know that that's the prophecy? Is it just
right.
words gone out? I mean, it's been
Oh,
a circulating rumor for 1,000 years, and I guess
yeah.
someone at some point told him.
I'm sure he's heard a few things, and I think when like again apparently like for the research that I did, briefly as it may be, is that um he took the prophecy to mean that no one shall kill him, you
Right,
know.
right,
Yeah.
not
But
like a non male.
yeah, but here's what's cool about this chapter, and actually about this particular is that it again using the language and very very regal. It feels like not a chess game, but they're one up in each other. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like basically like when Eowyn says, you look upon a woman, but no living man am I. You look upon a woman, Eowyn am I. You stand between me and my lord and kin. Be gone. Basically, it's kind of like checkmate, bitch.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right, 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 right.
But
But
I,
go ahead.
yeah, but I mean, this right here, just like she is not backing down, and
Yeah.
which is great.
One more thing about this: no living man may hinder me.
Yeah,
Like maybe it's not so much a rumor or a legend or a prophecy that he's become aware of. Maybe he's the origin of this prophecy, and he
yeah,
spread this around like through a whisper campaign, and it's like a propaganda piece that
yeah. He's like
he,
he's like the DJ. He's like the DJ Khaled of Middle Earth, just pumping his own tires.
right. So you try to build up your own lore. You build up your own sense of undefeatability, and then so this bubble has been burst apparently. But I mean, like I'm comparing it to like equivalent scenarios from the past or from literature, like Achilles. The idea
Yeah,
was like he was invulnerable except for his heel because when he was dipped into the Styx or the Acheron or whatever river gave him his power, like he was being held by the heel, so that was remained the vulnerable part of him.
oh,
So is
see,
this like a spell that was cast over him, or who? I'm just trying to figure out what the origin of this is. This
yeah.
invulnerability.
Take any ring wraith, right? Like when you're a kid, um, like you when you first got into Lord of the Rings. Like I always assumed that none of them could be killed by like a man,
Right?
like
'Cause they were
they
invisible.
they yeah, dude, they got wiped out, from what do you call it? From the at the fort of Rivendell,
Right.
right?
But
And
they
they
came
came
back.
back.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, also because they're undead. For the D&D
yeah.
people out there, it's like they're undead, so they're already dead. So you can't really kill someone who's already dead, right?
Well, I mean, there's a certain amount of hit points, but I mean, unless you have like a a
Saving,
plus,
right?
yeah, unless you have a +4 Vorpal weapon that is like like
Right, right.
with that affects the healing of undead. I mean, you're pretty, which
Yeah.
Mary had.
Well, if you have a bag of infinite holding, then you could always produce Eowyn's and other female characters that can just kill him
Well,
on
well,
call.
speaking of Mary, though, I mean, was he? Did he weaken? Like he weakened the Witch King enough with his dagger
Well, I actually think
to
that might be there's significance to that because, like, one could say, well, Mary's not a man either.
right. Yeah,
So
that's my
maybe
point.
he like half killed. Maybe if it were just Eowyn, she wouldn't have been able to kill him.
Yeah,
And Mary, he's also not a man. So
yeah. Double the prophecy, man. Hey, just real quick before we get off of this, have you heard the dialogue on the Rankin Bass? Like, we talk about that? It's
oh,
like it's
you said it's
like
lifted completely from here.
it's pretty much lifted verbatim. But the voice that the Witch King has is like almost like like really,
Like Skeletor.
yeah.
I can't remember when I've had a more pleasant day. Until we meet again.
Old fool! This is my hour. Do you not know death when you see it?
And I always was like, that's like the one thing that I wish Peter Jackson would have done. You know what I'm saying? Like where like you just put that voice, like take the audio from the Rankin Bass and put it on the Peter
Yeah,
Jackson and
I'll
like
do that.
Old fool! This is my hour. Do you not know death when you see it?
yeah, it'll work way better, I think. Yeah, but
Ew.
I always thought it was. I still like have like a soft spot for that voice, like where it's
Right,
just like
right.
it's like a male witch, like a and not even like it's not even like a deep voice. Like Jackson had the ring race barely able to speak. Like it sounded very guttural and like they were. It was difficult to get the words out. Where the
Yeah,
Rankin
yeah.
and Bass had none of those issues. Anyway, that's
We should replace the Witch King with Captain Hook from Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
yeah.
I need to trick those puny pirates into taking the wrong path. If only the yellow...
Oh yeah,
No.
great.
Erwin. No.
Which oddly
No
enough,
man may kill me.
Captain Hook. Oh god, what was his name? Was the guy who did Captain Hook for the Disney movie? Also did Thor and Oakenshield. I think.
Oh, really?
Hans Conried.
Word.
And yeah, he did Captain Hook in Peter Pan, and he did
Cool.
Thor and Oakenshield. So it's kind of like that crossover.
Yeah. Yeah, we can get his voice on there.
Right.
That's
So
cool.
anyway.
Oh, so anyway, so reading this again, I kind of did a double take because I never really thought about this before, but it seems so obvious.
Right.
So midway down on page 1105 here, so passed the sword of the Barrow Downs, the work of Westerness, but glad would he have been to know its fate who wrought it slowly long ago in the North Kingdom when the Dunedain were young, And chief among their foes was the dread realm of Angmar and its sorcerer king. No other blade,
Yeah.
not though mightier hands had wielded it. Oh, sorry. No other blade, not though mightier hands had wielded it, would have dealt that foe a wound so bitter, cleaving the undead flesh, breaking the spell that knit his unseen sinews to his will.
Yeah.
That's
So
freaking cool.
right, but I think that Mary doesn't get enough credit for this. Do you know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right,
Because like to me that says he broke the spell, right?
right.
And that allowed Eowyn to cleave his head.
Exactly. Like, it's kind of, speaking of the fulfillment of 1,000-year-old prophecy, again, this brings back these ancient, like, battles from, the North Kingdom and the Witch King of Angmar. And so you imagine that the guy who made this sword was like, my biggest foe is the Witch King of Angmar. I'm going to put like an anti-Witch King of Angmar spell on this sword. Mary stabbed him in the back of the leg with a sword,
Yeah.
which would probably be not a very fun thing for the Witch King, but
Well,
maybe,
for anybody for that
for
matter.
anybody for that matter, but maybe because it's this particular sword which had an anti-Witch King spell on it that broke the power or of
Yeah.
invulnerability that the Witch King had, that no man may kill him, and it was Mary that broke that spell, allowing
Right. Well, that's
Eowyn to
yeah,
kill him. So it's like a
right.
double.
In the same way that Sam was the hero, really, of but Frodo got all the accolades. Mary
Yeah,
was the hero of the actual killing of the Witch King. That's what
yeah.
I believe. Call
I
me
mean,
conspiracy
definitely it was a
theorist.
team effort, but you're right. I mean, one could say that once that spell was broken, the Witch King was kind of doomed, and
Yeah,
Mary was the
yeah.
one that actually did that with his magic sword that he
This
got for that
is little
specific
blood.
purpose.
You know what? Like while we're sitting here discussing this sword and the maker and whoever forged this, um, if those idiots of ring like at the Ring of Power were like had any kind of intelligence, like when they and again, granted, it's it still is like a number of years where they're at in that story before they actually get to the Witch King of Angmar, right?
Right.
But they should like as an Easter egg, they should show a guy forging that sword,
Ooh, that'd
or
be
that
cool. Yeah.
that dagger, you know, and
Yeah.
being like, oh, I hate this Witch King. If only a line that I really liked is, "For never now shall I sit with you in Mediceld as I promised, or listen to your herb lore." I
Hmm.
really liked the that because herb lore sounds so so proper. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
And really all Mary wanted to do was talk about pipe weed. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like
Oh yeah.
yeah, you know.
I mean, it
But yeah,
reminds me. Go ahead.
oh no, yeah, no, go ahead.
No, it reminds me of like when Frodo and Sam are like on Mount Doom about to destroy the ring, or kind of on the lead up, and they're like, "Oh, I just wish I was back in the Shire with like digging up potatoes or so." Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah,
little things. Like here, at the end of things, this glorious battle, death was upon him, and he just
yeah,
like reminiscing about like pipeweed, herb lore. Um, Same thing with Frodo and Sam. That just it's like the little things that people will be nostalgic for, and
yeah,
be wistful about when death is
yeah.
upon. So
Yeah, no,
yeah, it's cool.
it's almost sad. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
It's
no,
like,
yeah. It's
it's
very,
like
it's very poignant.